Hello everyone. This another subsection of data analysis about the statistical assumption. Okay, right? Parametric tests and non-parametric tests. Okay, parametric tests are based on normal distribution, right? It requires that a sample of group analyzed is taken from a population that meets the normality assumption. Okay, the data that you will be obtaining from the data collection in the next semester, it must meet the parametric ataupun it must meet the statistical assumption. It is because by using by meeting the normality distribution, it allows you the data to be analyze the hypothesis testing by using parametric tests. However, if the data is not normally distributed, normal distribution, it has its own testing how to indicate the data is normal. Okay, if it is not normal, then the non-parametric test is suggested to be used to analyze the data or to do the hypothesis testing. Okay. So we have this table. If the parametric test, what are the tests, and the non-parametric test, what are the tests, right? As previously mentioned, independent sample t-test is to compare two groups. If you want to compare performance between male and female, between A and B, okay? And then the name of the test is independent sample t-test. If your data meeting the normal distribution. If the data is not normal, then another alternative will be Mann-Whitney U-test. Same goes to one-way analysis of variance. To compare more than two groups, if you compare 3, 4, 5 groups, then the alternative, if the data is not normal, Kruskal-Wallis. And the correlation test, Pearson correlation, not normal, Spearman correlation. And we have another one, they call chi-square. Okay, right. These are the three statistical assumptions. The most important is to meet the distribution that is normal. Okay, the first one. And the second one is the variance equality. Okay, and the type of data must be interval ataupun ratio to ensure that you are using parametric test. Okay, three statistical assumption, data mesti normal, variance mesti equal, and what type of data that you will be gathering in the obtain in the data collection. Okay, first there are three tests to ensure that to test the data that collected are normal, not Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, Smirnov test, Shapiro-Wills test, and skewness and kurtosis, right? So the p-value must be greater than 0.05 to ensure that the data is normal. This test is not for hypothesis testing. It is to test the normal distribution of the data. Skewness and kurtosis, taburan tu. If it is less than -1, between in the range, -1 to +1, same goes to kurtosis, it is normal. Okay, if it's not normal, you know the alternative will be yang tadi itulah Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis, chi-square, Spearman correlation, right? Second, the variance equality. So the sample must be unbiased because it must represent a population. Let's, for example, you should be selecting participants from university students. However, when the data is not represent the population, let's, for example, some of them are university students, some of them are school children. So when you analyze later on, I'm sure somewhat here and there the variance will not be equal because they will respond differently. The university student will respond differently, the school children respond differently. That's very, very crucial for you to ensure that the population is representing the objective that you want to do, right? And sample should have similar variance, meaning that they will respond to the almost similar distribution, meaning that ensure that your population is correct. The third one is the type of data. Parametric tests require interval data. Interval data example is with the genuine zero. Okay, ratio data lah namanya. Speed, dia ada genuine zero, temperature, distance, and time. No genuine zero, meaning that contoh yang tak ada kosong, berat. Di kilogram ada zero ke? Zero ke? Ada, but no negative. So the data is continuous, no breaks between them. Maksudnya is measurable interval. Okay, you can calculate the mean and standard deviation using the raw score. So there will be, if you calculate, you can get the number. Okay, interval data. If the data is not interval, contohnya ordinal, category, contohnya yes, no, contoh apa lagi ya, the category big, yellow, white, that's not interval, it's ordinal ataupun categorical, right? That suggests you to not using parametric test. What if one of these assumptions violated? If the data that you collected later on are not normal, variance is not equal, the data is not interval, so what should you do? So we have non-parametric tests. It is, we always have an option to test the hypothesis. Non-parametric test is there for you. Okay, function still sama, but we have a reason in statistics. But it's very easy nowadays. You just click here and there in spaces, and then the result comes to you. Right, so then again, this is my sample of writing it. I suggest you to put a table like this so that we know what types of statistical analysis you will be using to test your hypothesis. That's more clear. If you have 3, 4, 5 hypotheses, just indicate in this way so that we'll know it address which hypothesis and which statistical analysis. All right, thank you.